In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the current conditions, 2 days of upcoming severe weather, overall the upcoming pattern, and a big upcoming northeastern snowstorm. Let's get into things, and first things first, we're taking a look at our radar imagery here. We're just taking a look at these current conditions, and we do see that there is some storminess moving on to the northwestern United States. We also see a lot of storminess here, especially for the southeastern and south central United States, but also extending all the way northward into kind of the New England area as well. Let's just zoom into the northwestern United States where things are a little bit less active than they have been, especially as you move up into Washington and northern Oregon. There's pretty much not nearly as many things going on as there was before just a couple of days ago, where every single day we were taking a look at some stuff going on. Now, for Northern California, Southern Oregon, and Southern Idaho as well, and probably eventually also Nevada, especially the northern half here, we are going to be seeing this storminess really impacting these regions. We see a lot of snowfall here for Oregon and California here in this area, and then also for Idaho, especially in the mountainous regions there. The Sierra Nevadas here, we are seeing some snowfall up and down this region. Obviously, that's pretty typical. And then for the lower elevation areas, the valley here and the coastal regions, we're seeing rainfall primarily here in California, which is no surprise either. So elevation is a big play in this storminess, but there is snowfall and rainfall going on because of those elevation differences. Now, as we move into the central United States, we can see a lot of severe weather. First off, showers up here, very minor showers, but down here we're seeing a lot of severe weather taking place with this storminess overnight, about 1 a.m. to about 5 a.m. and even still right now at 5:59 Eastern time, we're still seeing severe weather during these storms. Just a very, very crazy situation we find ourselves in. It's wild to say the least, but I'm going to shorten this real quick so it stops disappearing. So hopefully that helps. There you go. Okay, so we have had some of these severe thunderstorms, like I mentioned, in here especially, and even a tornado warning right now that we're dealing with in here. So that is ongoing as we speak. Let's see where that's for. Mount Ida there in Odin, and as well as Mount Pine there in Arkansas. So that is actually ongoing right now overnight. I hope everybody's safe, but this video won't be out for a little while, so we will see what happens with that. We do have some heavier precipitation ongoing for a lot of these southeastern and deep south states. Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama here, Mississippi, Tennessee. Primarily the yellows to oranges are more of that moderate rainfall. And then the reds, and especially the darker reds, are indicating those heavier pockets there of rain and even thunderstorms, obviously. And especially as we move up into the pinks and even blues, that is where the heaviest of the precipitation is ongoing. Now, overall, for the northeast, we do have some showers around, and those are primarily in the lighter form of precipitation. As you can see, it's in the lighter green. There is some darker greens and even some yellows showing up, which is more intermediate or moderate rainfall that is ongoing. And even up here for the Adirondacks, we are seeing some snowfall. So that's also definitely worth noting. But overall for the United States, we have these two storms going on. One, again, for the west, and then one here for the east. And that's what we have going right now. So we're going to take a look at the upcoming pattern. We're really going to see where these are going to progress and then the storms afterwards, because there is a few storms that are upcoming. They're just in the more minor form of things, to be honest. So let's go ahead and take a look at those things. So here we are taking a look at the upcoming pattern. Let's just move this on. So we see this storm here actually ends up moving further inland. This isn't a surprise. This kind of always happens. But we see more storminess developing in there. We also see more storminess developing in the south central and southeastern United States. This will include some severe weather in there. So we're going to be watching for that. At the tail end of the video, we will take a look at the Storm Prediction Center. So we will be able to take a closer look at that. I will mention that. We do see here for the northeast, there is some showers. We saw these actually on our real radar that we took a look at in a minute ago. So that was obviously still the case, and it will be by about 2 p.m. today as well. So we're going to see this happening through the day today. That does move a little bit closer to the coast. We do see more snowfall kind of mixing in at the northern, more inland end there. We do see this low in here, some snowfall around for the Rockies here. We do see this thunderstorm activity down here for the south central United States as well. So we see these things still kind of happening, still kind of lingering as we approach Easter Day on Sunday. And then we see this storm developing in here, and this is going to be happening kind of Easter morning. Also, still some thunderstorm activity down here. Overall, quieter for the west, and I'm only mentioning this. I usually don't mention the quieter, nicer weather just because it's not really, what people are worried about or need to really hear about. But on a day like Easter, I feel like everybody wants to know, is it going to be nice or is it not? But out here for the four corner states and even up through the Northwest, it looks like it's going to be a bit drier and a bit nicer. And then also for the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes in there, it's going to be a little bit nicer. And then for the Northeast, there might be snow showers around. It will be a bit colder. But outside of that, it is going to be nicer than the days prior to it. So it's going to be nice for a lot of folks. The only area that I'm really concerned about, having kind of like what you would call, quote unquote, a nasty Easter, I guess, would be this area in here where we do have these snow to the north and these thunderstorms happening to the south. And let's just see how it develops. So this is by about 2 p.m., which, let's be real, on holidays, or no, this is actually 8 p.m. Let me show you 2 p.m. This is 2 p.m. For some reason on holidays, people like to eat dinner or like the big meal around like 2 or 3 p.m. I have no idea what it is. I feel like it's people just too excited or something, or people want to get home early. I don't know what it is, but everybody on holidays eats at the most unusual times. Let me know if your family does that too, or if your family actually eats at a normal time. I feel like it'd be much more normal to eat, Easter dinner at like 5 or 6, like you would eat dinner every single day. I don't know why that never, ever happens on holidays, but, so what? I mean, some people, I guess, eat lunches, so that would be considered normal to me, too. If you ate around 12, anywhere from about 11:30 to 1, that would be a lunch, obviously. But anyway, we're getting a little off topic here. 2 p.m. We have this storminess kind of in this similar area. Again, kind of just slashing through the United States here. This region is where the weather is going to be a little bit more nasty, I think, on Easter. And then by the time we're reaching about 8 p.m., which might affect some folks' commutes, it gets a lot nicer for the west even. Then this becomes a lot more vertical in here where I'm mostly worried. And there's some showers and thunderstorms for the southeast as well. But these are really drying up here as well. So in general, if you're in these circles that I'm drawing, expect nicer weather throughout Easter or the commute at least. But if you're in this area here, that's where I'm mostly worried. For just, I'm not worried that it's going to be like the most impactful weather in the world, but it's just not going to be ideal, if that makes sense. We do see this snowfall lingering in the north, and this is eventually going to become our northeast snowstorm, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. We also see these thunderstorms kind of developing here further southeast, and we see our next storm moving onshore by the time we're reaching about 8 p.m. here on Monday, April 18th. We see that this is bringing snowfall and rainfall up there. This low is starting to bring snowfall up in here. And this low is developing here. It's going to be a nor'easter, so it's going to move up. Very late season nor'easter. Look at that. Tons of snowfall for New England and the Northeast. Very late season snowstorm for a lot of folks. And that gets down to a 994, it looks like. So it's not going to be the lowest pressure in the world. But for this time of year, that actually is quite impressive. So we're going to take a look at the total snowfall in a minute with that one. We see our next storm developing here, and this, I'm guessing what's going to happen is it'll kind of bring some severe weather impacts, whether that's minor or major, down here for the south central and kind of just the central plains of the United States here. And this is by Wednesday, April 20th. So let's keep going with this. By the time we reach about Thursday, things get quieter, but there is showers and thunderstorms that could bring very minor severe weather. This could trend in another direction and look more major by the time we're reaching this point too. So this is Thursday, April 21st. Actually, I do see an area here that would be worth watching in here where things really get going that evening and afternoon. And then we see our next storm moving through the United States, and I think this one's going to really flip the pattern, okay? So bear with me here. This entire time we've been seeing kind of colder in the east, but what happens is we see a storm developing in here. This is, again, Thursday, very early on Thursday, and this one just really digs down west. And what happens is this cold air is all bottled up here, and it's waiting for an opportunity to dip down, and it kind of follows in with that storm. So we'll see the cold air really pour into the west, and then that causes all the warm air to kind of aim towards the east. So watch as this unfolds here. We see a lot of the cold air dipping down, and then we see a jet stream like this. So expect warmer conditions for, maybe even this whole region in here. By the time we're reaching about Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's going to be That's going to be the 22nd through the 24th or 5th time frame of April here. It looks a little bit warmer here on this model. We do see a Rockies snowstorm as well with this low developing, and this could be our next severe weather threat as it moves. Yeah, for sure. As it moves into this region, we definitely have a big time warm front there and then a cold front underneath. And I'm concerned for this area and here for severe weather with this one for sure. Maybe even further north. But if it was to develop that way, we take a look at a cold front racing across that region, as you can see. And that really brings a lot of impacts with it. So we would be watching that area for severe weather as we approach kind of that weekend. So this is going to be, I would say, we'll be watching for this one from Saturday, April 23rd through maybe midweek that week. So maybe Saturday to Wednesday, the 27th. So that'll be our next big storm we're watching. Let's take a look at the total snowfall real quick because I want to just talk about this, especially for the Northeast, as that's very unusual. But through the next 10 days, we expect a lot of snowfall up here as well. I'm just going to, since there's a lot going on here, just go through the color coding, and you can find your region, and I'll tell you what that color means. The grays are going to be a dusting, if anything. Blues will be 2 to 6 inches of snowfall. Purples will be 6 to 10. Pinks will be 10 to 20. Your pastel blues will be 20 to about 30 or so. And that's going to be what you're seeing for Colorado, Wyoming there, and a little bit of Idaho. Those very bright blues, kind of like almost turquoise type color. And then we see those pastel pinks, which... Let's see if I can even, for California this year, Nevada this year, we get that kind of pastel pink. It's very, very hard to see, but that's where we're at, like 30 inches plus, 30 to 48 inches of snowfall or so. But mostly for New England, we're taking a look at a 2 to 6 inch snowfall event for the blues. And then there is a bit of purples in there, which is going to be 6 to 10. And then there is pinks for the Adirondacks, the Catskills, the Berkshires, the Green Mountains, and the White Mountains. So all your New England, classic New England and Northeast mountain ranges are looking at probably about 10 to 20 inches of snowfall with this upcoming snow event, which is really, really high for this time of year. From just my experience, this seems to be high for late April as far as the amount of snowfall expected. Now let's go ahead and move on and talk about the upcoming temperature pattern because it is going to flip big time according to the European model now. All right, now we're taking a look at that temperature pattern. We're going to really see this cold air dive eastward over the next couple of frames here. So we see it really dive in, and you probably looked at your 10-day forecast and seen that this is going to occur. But we see what ends up happening is a jet stream that looks about like this. So a big trough here in the east, just about like this. A little bit of some colder air making its way in here, but primarily we have the warmer air heading west here, the warmer than normal air. So what we see is that lingers a while. So this starts moving into the east today. So by the time we reach Monday, it's going to be fully engulfed into the east. We see that sticks around for quite a while. Things start to warm up by the time we reach about Thursday, April 21st. So as we're approaching the weekend, things are getting more warmer than normal in here. They're not entirely above normal for all of these regions. There is some areas that are near normal. But with the cool down, we're going to be seeing temperatures that are anywhere from about 5 to 15 degrees below normal. So to go from that to about near normal is going to feel like about 5 to 15 degrees warmer than it was. So it doesn't really matter what your average is. If we're comparing to the temperature air mass that's in place before it, it is going to be warmer. And things get even warmer to where they do get above normal for the east. I was specifically looking at this frame for Sunday, April 24th, which I think is next Sunday. Yeah, that should be next Sunday. We have very warm compared to normal temperatures in this region, especially these darker reds. The darker reds will be about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. And then even those brown colors or grayish colors up there in the north for the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, that's going to be about 15 to 25 degrees above normal. So very significantly above normal for these regions up there in the upper Midwest and for the Great Lakes there. Okay, now as we move past that, we see that kind of just lingers around. We have colder air bottled up here, but mostly warmer conditions stretching up the East Coast. So things are going to get nicer for the tail end of April, it appears. Again, from Sunday the 24th, Sunday the 24th, and for the foreseeable future, warmer temperatures will return for the East, it appears, and kind of just piggyback off of this nice spring we've had so far. So that looks to be the upcoming temperature pattern. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Storm Prediction Center because we actually have 2 days of severe weather to talk about. and then kind of clear after that for now. So here's the day one categorical outlook. We're just gonna break this down. As you can see, we have a slight risk for today. Today is Saturday, April 16th. So that is the day I'm making this video. In the lighter greens, we have one here, and then we have one that stretches up the East Coast. That's going to be your general thunderstorm risk, and that's where general thunderstorms are expected. Severe weather is always possible, though, especially this time of year. I always mention that even in this light green area, severe weather is possible. And even in the white area, there could be human error here. There could be thunderstorms developing in areas unexpectedly, and there could be severe weather outside of any of these areas. Although unlikely, you want to always be watching your current conditions in your area because anything's possible. Let's be real. Now, the darker green area, this is called our marginal risk, and this is where isolated severe weather is possible, underlining it there. And this is mostly for the south central and the southeastern United States. That's where isolated severe weather reports will likely be coming in. Now, for our yellow region here, it's quite small. We have Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama in there. That is our slight risk area, and that is where scattered severe weather is possible. So let's go down the individual outlooks real quick. And the first one here is our day one wind outlook, and these are all based on 25 miles of a given location because we're going to be going through percentages. This green area here is a 5% chance of damaging wind. The yellow area here is a 15% chance of damaging wind. So pretty significant wind threat here. 15% chance is kind of getting towards that, medium side of the scale. We do have our hail outlook here, although this is pretty marginal. We only have a 5% chance here of hail there within the 25 miles of a given location, and a 2% chance of tornadoes here within this green region. So it's mostly a damaging wind threat today. Now for day two, which is going to be for Sunday, obviously Easter, April 17th, we can see that there is a general thunderstorm risk again for the southeastern United States and the south central United States, where again, general thunderstorms are expected, but anything is possible. Always heed all those watches, warnings, and advisories. We see there in the darker green that there is a marginal risk of severe weather for the deep south, and that is where isolated severe weather is expected. And then again, the yellow area for Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama is where scattered severe weather appears to be possible. Now let's just break down those individual outlooks for day two or Easter. And again, we have a 5% chance there within the green of damaging wind, and then another 15% chance there for the deep south again. Then for the hail outlook, things look to be kind of increasing here on day two. We have a 5% chance there in the green, a 15% chance there in the yellow, and even a hatched area in there, which is indicating 2-inch diameter or larger hail is going to be possible within that hatched area, which is very, very large. So on Easter Day, we're going to be watching for hail in this area specifically. And then we do have that 2% chance of tornadoes within 25 miles of a given location there within that green area. We're also going to be on the lookout for that. So obviously, since this is day two, first off, stay up to date with our videos. I will be uploading again tomorrow morning, just like every single day, and we will break down this once it's day one, as things could obviously change or progress, so you're going to want to be looking for that. But also just be paying attention to the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center and see what they're kind of advising for your area. And obviously, again, just do whatever they say. Heed all those warnings, watches, and advisories, and they will give you precautions to take as we kind of as we all walk through the severe weather season this year. That's going to be your best way to go. Now, for today's confidence tab, we are at a 4 out of 6 again. We just haven't moved close to most of these events that we're talking about yet, so I'm still on kind of the more medium side of confidence. For today's patron highlighted today, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Craich, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Leonard the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kudelasa, Capite, Charles Stinnett, Bill Dallas, Garys, and John Calisi also. I would also like to thank our channel members, Capite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.